Hey everybody, and welcome to Camellas. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue with you. Episode 3 of the Westwood Living Sports Show, presented by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, Tom?
I am fired up because this is one of my favorite weeks of any year, because this week is Thanksgiving week, yes, but to me it's football week. Because there's a lot of tradition that we get to celebrate. There's a lot of great football that we get to be a part of. And, of course, it's the rivalry week with Westwood and Holliston.
Absolutely. And a live coverage by Westwood Media Center, which we'll be a part of. Pre-game starts at 9:30. And we got a football-heavy lineup today for guests. Starting off, we have Ty and Brad Pindell, starting quarterback and head coach of your Westwood Wolverines. Jonas Gray, former New England Patriots running back, Super Bowl champ. We have Ann Joyce, the new girls basketball coach at Westwood High School. And then we also have Greg Camella, part of the Camella family here, owns Camellas, 12 of them around the Massachusetts area, and also a NFL player, Super Bowl player as well.
One of the greatest NFC Championship game performances you'll ever see. But let's start local, and let's bring in our first guests, Ty and Brad Pindell. It is fantastic to see you guys. It's a busy week, I know, so I appreciate you joining us because you're in the midst of preparing for your arch rival. So, Brad, give us a little heads up about how the preps have been going.
It's actually been a good couple of weeks of practice. We literally just came from the practice field. The kids are focused. They're fired up. They realize this is their last Monday practice, of the season. For the seniors, it's their last Monday practice ever. So, they're fired up, they're focused, and they can't wait for Thursday.
Ty, you had a lot of car rides, I'm sure, with the big dog over here over the years. How many times on those car rides when you talk football would you hear the word Holliston out of his mouth?
Not too many. We don't tend to say that word around the house.
Yes, good point. He's a smart man.
Yeah. Growing up, going to Thanksgiving games when he was over at DS too, and now it's always a good family tradition, hanging with the family after. But it's always better eating turkey with a win. So that's been good the past few years.
All right, this is not fair because I'm looking at this shot, and Brad looks so much larger than Ty, and that's not really how it is. Ty's a monster. What are you, 6'5"?
4.
6'4".
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give him 6'5".
Yeah, he's pushing 6'5". Congratulations, by the way, TVL Offensive Player of the Year.
Thank you.
You have set a ton of records this year, most notably passing yards record. You're up and over 2,400 passing yards in a single season.
Incredible.
32 touchdown passes this year alone. I mean, do you guys just sit at home and say, we're going to sling this ball every single time we're going to play? What's it like in the house? How do you, whip up all these game plans?
Well, I mean, we can sit and say we go, well, this is how it really works. I'll walk downstairs, and he's already watching film on the big TV, and then I'll sit down, and then 9 o'clock turns into 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock turns into 10:30, and 10:30 turns into 11, and we just get carried away. But, I mean, those stats don't happen without all of my guys. I mean, I got the best receiving core I've had in my entire life. My O-line's fantastic. I mean, it's really a team effort, but, the film at home definitely helps.
Now, you guys had some terrific accolades. Brad, you were a lineman of the year when you played, and obviously tremendous accolades this year, not only just accolades but records. But I also want to talk about accolade MVP at home, Beth Pindell. So Beth Pindell, she's been doing this for a while. And her football season is also football season for her.
Absolutely.
How important has she meant to both of you, through the ups and downs of the season, but also just that incredible support system for both of you guys?
I'll go first. I literally couldn't do it without her, to be able to coach while I had a newborn and then, another one and then a third, and, I'm gone every Friday night, I'm gone every day of the week. To lose me from August until Thanksgiving, for her to be able to put up with that and pick up the weight that I lose by coaching other people's kids, it's, there's no words, there's no thank yous I can say enough. She's an amazing person to put up with it. And if she ever told me to stop, I'd have to stop because I couldn't do it to her. I don't think she does. I think now that once our kids got into the program and she got to see it, now she's in love with the sport. She's in love with the way the program's run and being a Wolverine, and so she's all in.
He said his point of view. It's the same thing for me. Yeah. I can tell the number of times where because I only been able to drive for a year, so my sophomore year or my whole junior year, I'd walk up to the high school for a game, and I'll look at my backpack, and it's, Mom, do you mind bringing up my cleats? Left them in the drawer. And she's like, on my way, and And it's every time. She's super reliable. I mean, I love her to death. I couldn't do without her too. I mean, from the meals to bringing my stuff when I forget it, it's honestly, she's done so much for me.
You know, Morgan, you know that Brad and I get together every week, and we have a great time talking about the next opponent. And he's definitely very focused on only talking about the next opponent. And it's very clear that he doesn't ever want to mention Holliston until it's Holliston week. So, Coach, let's talk a little Holliston, shall we?
Let's do it.
Thursday at home, we don't know what the weather conditions are going to be. Right now it's looking pretty clear, but whatever it is, you're going to be on the field. What does the rivalry mean to you? And then more importantly, what's the matchup looking like this year?
Sure. So the match. Would you want me to start with the matchup?
Yeah, let's just go matchup.
We'll go matchup. So they're a very good team. They played some really tough teams in the early part of their season, and that's where their losses came from. They played like Lincoln Sudbury, who's a D2 powerhouse. Like they've just played some really good teams, and when they got into league play, they've handled themselves very well. And they made it to the playoffs. They played another powerhouse Duxbury team in the playoffs. They have a lot of good athletes. They have some size up front. Honestly, I think we have our hands full Thursday, but we're going to give it everything we got. I have a lot of respect for their coaches. Coach Mike Uroff does a great job. Bobby Conrad's the defensive coordinator.
One of Conrad's in Norwood.
Yep. Yeah. He does a great job. Their kids work hard. They're going to be fired up for this game. I think it's going to be a really good matchup.
Now, talk a little bit about, too, playoffs are a different format now, but in the 80s at one point, 6 years in a row, the game meant something. Winner of that game was going to go on to the playoffs. Like, do you remember going to those games? Because some of them started before you, and then you were part of those as well.
All 4 of my years were those years. My first year, my freshman year, we were carrying like a 19-game win streak. Yeah. Then we lost on Thanksgiving. Sophomore year, they were on a 19-game win streak, right? And then they lost to us. And it's just always been for me, it's always been a very personal rivalry, because I know those kids on those teams, and whether it was a win or a loss, it was always super intense. Bitter rivals, and then as rivals as we are after the game, it's always good game.
Respect.
A lot of respect.
And the quarterback on that Holliston team played Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
he was. I think he was in the World Series. Didn't win a World Series, but it was some incredible athletes over the last 52 years in the making.
Yeah.
When you think about the history and the tradition and the significance of the rivalry, I'm going to lean on you, Ty. You've played in this game. You've been successful in this game. You're now in a position as a senior where you're a leader. You're going to have that moment in front of your teammates on Thursday morning. It's a different routine, but you've been through it. I'm sure you've thought many times the message that you want to convey to your teammates. I mean, what do you try to convey to your teammates on game day morning when you're going up against your arch rival on Thanksgiving Day?
It's your last game of the season, so there's no reason to hold back. I mean, there's times in the past where you pull your starters, or you can go halfway on a play because you got to stay healthy the rest of the season, but that's not the case anymore. This is your last game. You have nothing else to lose. I refuse to end my career on a loss. So that's what I tell the seniors. That's what I tell the rest of the guys. You won't play football for another 10 months. So just go after it for the next 48 however minutes.
Wow. I'm going to tee you up here. Favorite memory?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a lot of success. When you look back and you say, that was my favorite game, what's the game?
This year, my senior year versus Norwood was definitely been my favorite game, 100%.
Yeah, dropping a 50 burger will do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but to that end, that was the game that Charlie Jessup had all the touchdown receptions. Just like, what's it like for you? You're just like, I'm just going to throw it down there, and I'll bet he'll get it.
I mean, that's the benefit. That's my guy. I've been best friends with Charlie since kindergarten. Growing up with him, that's my best friend right there. So I have all my confidence in the world in him. He's the fastest kid I've ever seen. I'll just throw it out there. I know he'll get under it, and I have no doubt in the world he can do that.
He's the type of kid with that speed, and you call audible. I'm sure you guys just make eye contact. You know exactly what you're running.
Yeah.
Charlie, go deep. I'm chucking it to you in the end zone.
And then you've been through so many of these, Brad. How about yourself? When you look at the kids in the eye on Thursday morning, what's the message you try to convey?
It's very similar. You're going to remember this the rest of your life, right? Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's 10-year, 5-year reunion, 10-year. You're going to talk to your friends that were on the team. The game's going to come up. and you don't want to have any regrets. You want to be like, you remember when I did this or you did that, and like that's the stuff that's going to be with you forever. So embrace it, go out, sell out. Like Ty said, you got nothing to lose. And whatever happens, happens, but at least you're going to have no regrets walking off that field.
It's going to be fantastic. We are thrilled to be broadcasting it live on Thursday. Bring home a win for us because, as Ty said, the turkey does taste a little bit better on Thursday when the home team wins. But that is Ty and Brad Pindell, of course, the head coach and the quarterback of the Westwood Wolverines. We can't wait to see you Thursday, and thanks so much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you
for having us.
Good stuff. What a great season it's been so far. So wrap it up with a good one.
Absolutely.
We're just getting started. On the other end of the break, we're going to talk to former Patriots running back.
As an independent boutique financial planning and wealth management firm that is women-owned and operated, we offer a unique approach that sets us apart from others in the industry. At our firm, we prioritize providing dedicated care and service to each of our clients. This means that our advisors have ample time to get to know you and your family and be there to support you when you need it the most. And that's what we do at Nightingale, ensuring every client has the peace of mind they deserve, knowing we have their back.
Nothing in sports happens without commitment. You have to commit to prepare. You have to commit to compete. And when the game is on the line, you have to commit to making a decision and trust your preparation. The same is true when it comes to orthodontics. When you commit to improving your smile, you're making a commitment to a better life. Your mouth is the front door to your health. And who doesn't love showing off a beautiful smile when you're celebrating with friends and teammates? Arch Orthodontics is committed to you and being part of creating an even better you. When you're ready to commit, you know who to call.
Camilla started in 1988 in Wellesley. We opened here in 2014. Our most popular options are like people really like the chicken parm, eggplant parm, anything with our marinara sauce because it's nice and fresh, homemade. The meatballs are really good, so you could do like a meatball sub or spaghetti and meatballs. Like of course pizzas. Everyone likes like a classic cheese pizza.
The Westwood Living Sports Show is brought to you by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. More than wealth solutions, new wealth traditions. Camellas, eat like our family. And Brown Brothers Roofing. We treat your home like our castle.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Camella's. Tom Lydon and Morgan Donahue with you. Episode 3 of the Westwood Living Sports Show presented by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. And Morgan, this is a fun time for me because it's the Nightingale Notebook.
Yes.
And we've got some good information to share with all of our viewers here. We're going to do a little recap of the fall sports season and just go over some of the achievements that we were able to witness. And if you look at these records, it just goes to show how really successful this fall season was. You know, field hockey went 11-6-2. They were the TVL Large champs, made their way to the Elite Eight.
Incredible comeback. Ellie Harrington, heroic efforts in the overtime winner in the round of 16.
The girls cross country team undefeated, TVL champs, third in Division II states. Very good,
impressive.
solid follow-up to what they did last season. The golf team, we love those guys.
Shocked the world.
14-6.
Shocked the world.
Second in Division II sectionals. The girls soccer team went to the Sweet 16 with a 12-4-2 record. Boys soccer.
Yes.
All those ties, a lot of ties.
A lot of ties.
8-4-6, but they got into the MIAA playoffs themselves. Volleyball, of course, 11-9. They got into the MIAA playoffs. Football looking to give us that final win of the fall season. And the cross country team had some really good performances individually. But you add it up, that's a combined record of 68, 37, and 10. looking to get a 69th win on Thursday to wrap things up in the fall season. So, team by team, we do want to throw a little shout out to all the people who were named all TVL, got honorable mention. So, field hockey, Maura Keneally. She was named the TVL
Marvelous.
Large MVP. Unbelievable. Kaylin Dempsey, Mary Lou Kosovera, Bridget Hughes, also named TVL All-Stars. And Emma Fitzpatrick gets honorable mention. Fantastic, fantastic run. Cross country, third in divisionals out of 34 teams, third in the states out of 102 teams. They had 7 TVL All-Stars. 7. Maeve Gavin, Susanna Rockers, Kira Chi, Kara Sullivan, Elise Boger, Ryan Colleran, and Haley Cashman. 7 All-Stars. And Violet Gavin, Adrian Kelly, and Brooke Hahn are all honorable mention.
Tom, in the TVL race, all of them finished in the top 19.
It's
which
incredible.
is incredible.
Fantastic job by the coaching staff and the girls. Golf super standout, Patrick Dalton, of course. He was named the Tri-Valley League's MVP. Co-captain Aiden Smith was honored as a TVL All-Star. Brian Sullivan received honorable mention. So Patty, Smitty, and Sully. Sounds like a law firm.
Sounds like a selfie dive bar. But I got to give a shout out Maddie Donovan and Brian Sullivan, the efforts, and Aiden Smith in the sectionals. Incredible effort they had.
Girls soccer, talented group, a lot to celebrate. Seth Lukash was named the TVL Large Coach of the Year. The team received the Sportsmanship Award, always including youth players, reaching out in the community. Izzy Hansen, the all-time leading scorer, TVL League MVP, and the Olivias. Olivia Mason honored as an all-star. Olivia Shea receiving honorable mention. Boys soccer, no surprises here. Trevor Ferreira, Ethan Butner were both Eastern Mass All-Stars and TVL All-Stars.
2 guys, in my opinion, the best scorer in the state, also the best defender in the state. Saw both of them play a bunch this year. They were incredible.
Volleyball, 2 first-team All-Stars, including sophomore Lulu Fenton, total stud, along with senior setter Tav Lodovico, Livy Leiden, and Veronica Reeves. They also received honorable mention. The 2 middle hitters, Veronica Lulu and Avery Herlihy, will be next year's captains.
Congratulations.
Football, we talked to the TVL Large Offensive Player of the Year earlier, Ty Pindell. He's joined as a first-team All-Star by Narut Kamal Ratana Pibun, Murphy O'Malley, Big Pete Mills, moving bodies around, Jack Corrigan of force on the line, Keelan McDonald at tight end and defensive end, and J.R. Drayton lighting on just lightning on the outside. Max O'Shea, Charlie Jessup, and Gianni Martucci all received honorable mention. Turn the page. Winter sports starts late next week. The boys basketball team opens on the road next Friday, the 5th, against BC High. Everything really gets going the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Full slate of action across those 3 days, and we're off and running in the winter season. And that is the Nightingale Notebook. Nightingale Wealth Solutions, our presenting partner. Trust your financial future to the team at Nightingale. More than financial advisors, guidance and support you would expect from a fiduciary advisor. Outside of anyone who shares a last name with you, Nightingale cares about you the most.
Nicely done.
Nicely
done. And Tom, we've had state champs on the show so far. We now have a Super Bowl champ that we are super excited to talk about. Someone that you covered in high school.
How wild is that? Jonas Gray joins us. And Jonas Gray, I first met when he was a stud running back at Detroit Country Day.
Yes.
Wow. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you guys.
I got to be careful with the ring he's wearing.
Yeah, a little blingy
Look at that.
in there.
I need some sunglasses to
I'm
look
telling
at
you,
that.
just a little dish detergent. We'll shine it up.
So he's got the best story, though. You got to tell him the story about are they friends or just people that you are aware of?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no. So I got a story. Well, you've definitely heard about it. So on the night, November 2014, you made a couple Boston boys millionaires.
Yes.
And have they reached out to at least thank you or take you out to dinner? So the story goes, DraftKings, they had the millionaire competition, and these guys picked Jonas Gray as their running back. And it was Sunday night, so they sweated it out until the very end. And my man over here, 4 touchdowns, 200 yards on the ground, probably one of the most electrifying games the running backs had in Patriots history, if not NFL history. These guys came away. He put them over the top, millionaires because of that performance. It was the Gomes brothers, I believe.
Yes.
Have they reached out to at least thank you? They at least owe you a few dinners, in my opinion.
I'm telling you, no, they have reached out and thanked me, and
Good.
then they also invited me to have some dinner over there. I never took that offer up.
Yeah.
But it's so funny when you do like fantasy football, you literally have to wait.
Yes.
And make sure you made the right decision, especially like on a Sunday night game. So I know they were sweating bullets, trying to figure it out. They had all the right pieces, and I guess I was the final piece. So that was nice.
Well, listen, I certainly don't want to put your entire career in one night, but that's what people want to talk about first. I mean, you got to understand, for somebody to even get a cup of coffee in the National Football League, you got to be a stud running back. And to have that kind of night, What was it like on the field, on the sideline, as it was evolving? 4 touchdowns against the Colts, 199 yards on the ground. That's ridiculous.
You know what? It was one of those days. I always say, like, I was in fuego.
Yeah.
I was on fire. Yeah. And, going into the NFL, like my last game at Notre Dame, I tore my ACL, MCL, LCL. Just completely blew up my knee my last game at Notre Dame. So anything I got after that was just like the icing on the cake. Like I didn't ever even expect it to perform the way I did in the NFL. And I'm telling you, like, that was just an incredible experience. And, like, when I scored, like, a couple touchdowns, I remember Edelman looked over like, you got 3 touchdowns already? And I'm just like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? And
let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. And, I actually could have scored 5. Gronk stole one from me, but we won't talk about that.
He deserved it, though. When you think about that game, that was the game where that defensive back was talking a lot of trash.
Kicked him out of the club?
He kicked him out of the club.
Yeah, with one of my college teammates, actually, which was funny.
Oh,
we got a good laugh about that.
So when you think about your tenure and how that season ended with the team winning the Super Bowl, is it a whirlwind? How do you reflect on that? Because you stay connected to the team. You live here. You live in Medfield. So you're living close by. You're still connected to the Patriots. What's the whole experience been like?
You know what? It's just been about the fact that, like, of course, those experiences, there's been other Super Bowl teams.
Sure.
But a lot of times it was about, like, the way I, like, spent my time in the community. You know what I mean? I was always willing to, do community service, always willing to give back. So I remember, like, that championship season, but also the way I made people feel and the way they made me feel. This New England community is just top-notch, a lot of elite people. And so I love my experience here and met my wife here. And so she dragged me back here, and I love it. I love it.
So you're going nowhere. You're staying here, huh, in New England?
For now. We'll see what things go.
And I understand you live in Medfield?
Yes.
Well, no one's perfect, It's,
right,
it happens to be a rival of ours.
I know, right?
But hold on, the connection is deeper than even what we've said, because this guy has helped develop some of the people who we've covered,
here in our
including
backyard.
a current Notre Dame player, Joe Vinci.
Yeah.
So get us up to speed with what you're doing now and that interaction that you've had with some of the kids as they've come up through the ranks.
Yeah, so now I run Athletes Plus Performance. And really what I do is try to work on the holistic athlete. You know what I mean? I'm all about developing the athlete from, just the journey in the football world. You know what I mean? And it takes away a lot, but it gives you so much more. And so I'm a part of that experience in terms of just letting them know what to expect, giving parents the keys, you know what I mean, to what to expect in terms of the recruiting, in terms of, the ever-changing evolution in college sports, you know what I mean? And recruiting is such a tough game right now, and especially, like, when New England, doesn't always get the most props, you know what I mean, in terms of some of the Midwest schools or some of the Midwest states and, the down south schools. So really it's about just helping them navigate this whole thing and understanding you have an opportunity if you take advantage of it.
Yeah. I do want to mention Evan Cardamino, who is our technical director. He actually, after that game, wrote a paper on you, and I think he got some good grades. So shout out, Evan. It was a
awesome.
But one question I want to ask you is, now in your current, running your current business and doing one-on-one coaching and also coaching, kids together and helping them get to the next level. Who were some of the most impactful coaches to you? When you look back at a coach that made a difference, and how much did you learn from them that you use today when you're coaching these kids?
You know what? I had so many great coaches, man. That's the one thing about just the journey in athletics is, like, if you really, like, take advantage of the people who you surround yourself with, the great coaches. Like, I had coaches in AAU basketball when I was playing basketball in, Detroit, Michigan. Speedy Walker was one of my coaches who is now a Detroit Pistons scout. Yeah. I had Braylon Edwards' father, Stan Edwards. He was my AAU track coach. So I had so many great coaches. But honestly, of course, like, to be quite honest, it's got to be the GOAT. It's got to be Bill Belichick. He's taught me, so much in terms of just preparation and having confidence in your preparation, having confidence in your routine, and just utilizing everything that's there for you.
And then on top of that, you've played with some of the greatest players ever. You've also coached some fantastic talent. What are some of the characteristics that they all share? Intangibles, whatever it is, that makes them who they are and special outside of just being, genetic freaks. What are those things that, that make them how special they are?
You know what it is? I would probably say it's just, they're confident in their abilities, but also they're just great people.
Sure.
And when you get great people and you have the ups and downs of what athletics is going to bring that. They're going to bring the ups and the downs. You're going to get, knocked down, you got to get up 10 times. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get knocked down 9, get up 10. Yeah. And a lot of them take that same mindset to everything. It's like if you're a great person and you lead with just who you are and your character, a lot of great things can happen for you. You know what I mean? And so that's the one thing I would say is just a lot of the guys that I work with, they're just awesome people to be around. And it's like, I want to help this kid. You know what I mean? And it challenges me every day. You know what I mean? Because they're such great kids, I want to give them my all.
Even as a Boston College grad, I will admit that Notre Dame does an unbelievable job. When you go to a Notre Dame game, first of all, they greet you with the warmest hospitality you could possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. But Morgan mentioned it before we came back on the air, that obviously from your days at DCD, you could have gone anywhere, but you chose to go to Notre Dame. What was it about Notre Dame that made you choose them? And then what did you see evolve over the time that you were there that kind of made you the person you are?
Wow, that's a great question. You know what I mean? First and foremost, it's one of the few schools, and you've got a lot now, like, the Dukes and the Michigans and, the Vanderbilts, things like that, where you can play high-level football and get a high-level education. Sure. And so that was always the biggest thing for me. But quite honestly, the thing that became transformational was just the spiritual part of it all. You know what I mean? Just learning more about myself and just the things that Notre Dame teaches you and just teaches you to be a better person. And it surrounds you around just elite people. You know what I mean? And so I knew it was going to challenge me both athletically and academically, but it really challenged me spiritually.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
It worked. I'm going to wrap up with this last quick story, Morgan, because the day after your game against the Colts, I was in Detroit. I got a phone call from the news director at Fox 25 here in Boston, and that was the call that got all of us here today, honestly, because it was that call that brought me to Boston ultimately. They said, hey, we'd like you to come be our sports director here at Fox 25, and I always remember it as the day after the Jonas Gray game.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome. And he's not kidding, because we had a podcast with him a year ago, and he mentioned it on there. So it's
I'll send you a bill. I'll send you a bill.
No, but to your point about just the impression that you leave on people, Jonas came equipped with all of these fantastic photos that he signed personally for all of us just moments ago, and it says, Tom, from Detroit to Boston, thanks for all the support. I mean, that's from incredible. The heart. So we appreciate it.
Oh,
and we'll support your journey wherever it takes you. And thank you for the time you gave us tonight.
No, my pleasure. I appreciate you guys. Looking forward to being on again.
Good stuff.
Yep.
That is Jonas Gray, Super Bowl 49 champion, and of course the pride of Detroit Country Day and the University of Notre Dame. But we are just getting started about halfway through this episode of the Westwood Living Sports Show, presented by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. On the other side of the break, we're going to catch up with Westwood girls basketball head coach Ann Joyce. Stick with us.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team. Built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
These are all well put together teams, well coached teams. They're good kids. They work hard and they make it easy to film the games.
We're looking forward to 2025.
2025 is going to be the year.
It's going to be the best one yet. Folks, the best is yet to come. 2025 is going to be the year of Westwood, the year of Westwood sports. We cannot wait to cover it. We cannot wait to talk about it, and we're looking forward to it. Got some space, looking to shoot. He scores! Ferreira! Nice pass, and then score by Westwood. Holland looking for the end zone, and he finds Tool! Touchdown, Tool! Driving, lefty, yes!
But it's a nice move, looking for space, shot and a goal!
And Westwood scores! Westwood on the board! Best game I've seen in all season by far.
From poverty to disease, conflict to environmental issues, the world faces complex challenges. That's why at Rotary, we unite people to find solutions. We're people of action. We support causes that foster collaboration, peace, and sustainable development. We empower communities to gain access to clean water, quality healthcare, and economic opportunity, breaking cycles of poverty and conflict. Learn more, find your cause, and take action at Rotary.org.
The Westwood Living Sports Show is brought to you by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. More than wealth solutions, new wealth traditions. Camellas, eat like our family. And Brown Brothers Roofing. We treat your home like our castle.
We are back at Camellas. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue with you. Thanks for joining us. The Westwood Living Sports Show presented by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. And we've done 2 shows, Morgan. This is the 3rd show. This is the 3rd time we're doing the trivia segment.
Yeah.
And I would give us a 1-1 record.
Yeah.
So the first show we did well against Evan. But then Dean Garfield showed up here.
Stumped us.
And stumped us on who was the Red Sox leading home run hitter in 2025. Something we probably should have known, but neither one of us knew it was Trevor Story.
Dean knew.
Dean knew. So now we're going to bring in Evan again. Evan, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you get a chance to meet Jonas, by the way?
I did. I got an autograph too. It's great. So
full circle moment.
I tried to get something out of Evan here. I just wanted a decade. I'm like, can you give us a decade? And he goes, no, that'll give it away.
No, yeah, it'll give it away. But here's your question. Westwood leads Holliston on Thanksgiving all time with 30 wins, 20 losses, and 1 tie. What year was the tie, and what was the final score of that game?
It was, I know what it is.
Hit it. Go.
It was the 70s, and I believe it was 0-0.
You got the score,
Scoreless
but you don't
tie,
have the decade, the year.
Wrong
What's
year.
the year?
Oh.
Got to have the year exact.
I got to have the exact year. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th game, so I'm going to say 1970s.
Go 6. Go 76.
3,
think it's
74. I'm going to say 1975. I think it was the 3rd game.
You nailed it.
Oh, let's go.
Right on the head.
Let's
Yep.
go.
I love it.
Oh.
That is fantastic. Good work.
I don't know if I should be proud or if I should probably use my time more effectively.
No, that's
If anything, I got to make it a little more difficult.
No, you're
because,
good. You're good. We
You know,
can win
you've been
every once
nailing
in a
all the
while.
questions I got for you. You might have a. Are you looking at my phone before the show? Because that's where I keep
No,
all my.
no, I just I have that imprint of the 52 years in my head of the all the numbers.
I believe it.
Well, Morgan and Evan, we are very appreciative of those who sponsor this program, and one of those sponsors is Brown Brothers Roofing, and Brown Brothers Roofing presents our Play of the Month, and this was a good one, right?
Oh, my goodness. So the round of 32, regulation was not enough, and we went to penalty kicks. So Westwood did their job. Boom, goal, boom, goal, boom, goal. Even McMurray off the bench. She was on the bench basically up till the last 5 minutes, puts one in the goal. And then the stage was set after the crossbar was hit. The crossbar was hit by Whitman Hansen. And who comes up but freshman Cassidy McGovern. You know, all the pressure on the world. You know, the lights were very, very bright. She puts it in the back of the net to send the Wolverines to the round of 16. Not bad for freshman year, capped off with a TVL Honorable Mention All-Star.
Here it is, the Play of the Month.
McGovern sets.
Seal it for Westwood.
She scores! The freshman sends sends the Wolverines to the round of 16 in an incredible matchup between Whitman Hansen here at Flayhive. What a finish for the Wolverines. The freshman gets it done.
That's a memory she'll talk about forever, and it happens as a freshman. So congratulations and thanks to our friends at Brown Brothers Roofing. This is exciting because I've literally never met our next guest until tonight. In fact, she said, please don't call me Ann, call me AK. This is the new girls basketball head coach, AK Joyce. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue. It's great to have you.
So good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Welcome to Westwood and welcome to Westwood High School. Absolutely delighted to, for the upcoming season, to call the games. First question I have right off the bat is, are you opposed to homers when it comes to announcers? Because I'm asking for two friends.
Listen, happy to have them.
Love it.
You come from a very established tradition of excellence when it comes to high school basketball. We're very familiar and friendly with Kristen McDonald, who you played for at Braintree to great success. How much of an impact did she have on your career? And she's now a head coach at Norwood, so now you're going to have the opportunity to coach against her. What does all of that mean to you, and how has she influenced you?
Yeah, it's insane. You know, she has been the best influence. You know, I still say I wouldn't be where I am today without her. She's just been the best impact on and off the court from when I was in high school. You know, even just not just X's and O's, but as a person, as a whole person. She's been there, you know, helping me make college choices when, you know, I was hating my parents and didn't want to listen to them, and then I was having all those outside influences, and she just was that voice of reason to help me make the right choice for me, which led me to, you know, teaching in Waltham, which led me to coaching in Waltham, and then led me to Dover Sherborne, and then led me to here. So it's insane that I'm going to be coaching against her. When I was going for this job, we were texting back and forth, and I was like, Coach, I don't know if I can be on the other side of the court from you, which is going to be insane. So, you know, those dates are marked on the calendar already.
Yeah,
but
we got it. December 19th at home.
Yeah.
We know well when
December
Norwood's coming to
19th,
town. On top
February
of it.
3rd. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very fun, but definitely a big day to play against her. So it'll be exciting.
What an incredible program that the Braintree program was. You know, it still is. The Womps, what a name too. You know, incredible. Also, shout out to Butch Stearns,
Yes.
Tom's good buddy, the mayor of Braintree.
I'm sure he did a story on you when you were in high school. It's almost guaranteed.
And obviously a fantastic coach that you had that now in the coaching for Norwood. What are some of the things that you learned from her as a coach, and do you take any of those into your own style?
Yeah, no, I mean, she definitely, I always say, like, no matter what kind of team coach has, like, it'll definitely be a team that will work their butts off to be the first one on the floor for the ball, and that's kind of what I expect from my team. So coming in, I would like our program to really, our main goal is going to be this. We're going to focus around grit, and every letter is going to stand for. So it's going to be growth, resilience, intensity, and together. And so that's really how we're going to focus our program, and that's what our goals are going to be. But that really comes from, you know, the foundation that I learned from Kristen. But you know, that's really what we focused on in practice. I still remember we had this burn board at practice where, like, it wasn't about, you know, who had the most points, who had the best shot or whatever. It was who worked their butts off in practice that day.
Love it.
And who had, you know, the toughest practice. And at the end of the practice, you got a Band-Aid and you put it on the burn board. And at the end of the season, whoever had the most Band-Aids, you got the burn board. So that was really, you know, that was the point of practice. You come in, you work hard, and that's what I really want to put into this season as well.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to break it down a little bit. I want you not only to analyze your own roster, tell us a little bit about who you're expecting big things from, but where does Westwood fit in when it comes to TVL hoops in 25-26?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously it's going to be a whole new team, right? So graduated 7 seniors, so it's kind of nice to have a fresh, clean slate. I'm really excited for the 5 returners, and I'm excited to see some new faces on the team as well. Really excited to have Lizzie Lehman back. I, you know, have watched a ton of their film from last year, and I was blown away of, like, wow, this girl is amazing. She's got a great shot. I'm really, really excited to work with her. Really hoping Olivia Shea is back and ready to go. I know she was injured in soccer, but, you know, fingers crossed that she gets back and has a great season. She's so athletic, and I think she can be a dominant force on the boards and a great defender. Julie Hogan,
Yeah.
you know.
Coast to coast.
That's my girlfriend Danielle's favorite player right there.
No, she's great too. You know, like she has a great shot as well. I think she could be a great person to also have on the boards.
Talk about grit.
Exactly.
That girl will end up bloody every game.
Exactly. So I think you know, we have a really strong team, and I think, you know, Elise Boger, Catherine McMurray also had great fall seasons, and so I think they will help us to come in and really have this. I'm hoping to have kind of a run and gun kind of game going.
All right.
You know, I think the TVL, it's a strong program. I think there's a lot of great teams that we play. Medfield, you know, we got not just the TVL, but we got a tough season up against us. We play Walpole, Cathedral, Bridgewater, Raynham, Needham. Yeah, so we got a tough season up against us, but I think, you know, with that idea of grit in mind, and if we're going to work our butts off, as long as we, you know, have the fundamentals down, I think we can do a lot of damage in the TVL.
Coach, what put Westwood on your radar? And ultimately, what made you say, yeah, I want to throw my hat in the ring and see, and, you know, be the next head coach?
So it was funny. Last year, I was the assistant coach at Dover Sherborne, and I actually was able to be the head coach for 1 week while Michael Patty was on paternity leave. And one of those games was for Westwood. And I had a really good conversation with Coach Clifford about, you know, she was just raving about the Westwood program and was talking about how it was really just a family. And that really reminded me of my time in Braintree and also my time coaching in Waltham as well. And I just really was brought me back to you know, why I love coaching, why I love basketball. And so when I saw her post about stepping down, I was like, all right. So I was checking School Spring just about every day since April, and finally it got posted in July. So, you know, it was one of those things that just, it was the right time, right place, and I'm just so excited and so lucky to be here. And it's been a wonderful start. The community is so warm, so welcoming, and I do feel that sense of family that Coach Clifford was talking about. So I'm excited to get into the gym and really make that family with our team. But I'm excited to be here.
We can't wait to watch the games. I know you got to go through tryouts and figure out who's going to be playing on what team, but what's opening night? You got to remember
December 13th.
All right, who do you play?
Bridgewater Raynham.
Bridgewater Raynham at home, December 13th.
No way.
On the road.
On the road.
Starting as Road Warriors.
Yeah.
That is A.K. Joyce. She is the new head coach for the girls basketball team at Westwood. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, fun night, huh? Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Right? Just why not do a show? Everyone likes watching.
Monday nights, nothing better.
So we have one more segment to bring your way. Morgan, don't forget that in
Pizza
our next
Box
segment, it is
predictions.
Pizza Box predictions time. So we're going to do our predictions during the break. When we come back, we will share those with you. We will also have a conversation with Greg Camella, of course, one of the owners here of Camella's Restaurants and a former NFL running back with lots of great stories. Stay with us. The Westwood Living Sports Show, presented by Nightingale Wealth Solutions, continues right after this.
As an independent boutique financial planning and wealth management firm that is women-owned and operated, we offer a unique approach that sets us apart from others in the industry. At our firm, we prioritize providing dedicated care and service to each of our clients. This means that our advisors have ample time to get to know you and your family and be there to support you when you need it the most. And that's what we do at Nightingale, ensuring every client has the peace of mind they deserve, knowing we have their back.
Nothing in sports happens without commitment. You have to commit to prepare. You have to commit to compete. And when the game is on the line, you have to commit to making a decision and trust your preparation. The same is true when it comes to orthodontics. When you commit to improving your smile, you're making a commitment to a better life. Your mouth is the front door to your health. And who doesn't love showing off a beautiful smile when you're celebrating with friends and teammates? Arch Orthodontics is committed to you and being part of creating an even better you. When you're ready to commit, you know who to call.
Camella started in 1988 in Wellesley. We opened here in 2014. Our most popular options are like people really like the chicken parm, eggplant parm, anything with our marinara sauce because it's nice and fresh, homemade. The meatballs are really good, so you could do like a meatball sub or spaghetti and meatballs. Like, of course, pizzas. Everyone likes like a classic cheese pizza.
The Westwood Living Sports Show is brought to you by Nightingale Wealth Solutions. More than wealth solutions, new wealth traditions. Camellas, eat like our family. And Brown Brothers Roofing. We treat your home like our castle.
We are back live at Camellas. Tom Lydon and Morgan Donahue with you. It's the Westwood Living Sports Show presented by Nightingale Wealth Solutions, and it is time for our Camellas Pizza Box predictions.
It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Do you want to go first or second?
I guess I'll come out of the gate.
Okay.
But I know we have similar ones here. Thanksgiving theme.
Yes.
We're very excited. Calling the game also. Pregame show starts at 9:30 on Thursday.
Good plug.
Narwood Kamal Ratana Piboon is going to have a massive Thanksgiving game on the ground, and I'm expecting a couple touchdowns out of the senior captain.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, one of us may be right, one of us may be wrong, or maybe if we're both right, it's a lot of
Hopefully
points for
both
Westwood because I have Ty Pindell will throw 3+ touchdown passes on Thursday in the game against Holliston. So you've got a lot of special K touchdown runs.
I do.
And I've got 3+ touchdown passes for Ty Pindell. The stakes are high.
It's going to be complimentary football.
The expectations are high.
We're going to see both.
Well, very fitting that we get to welcome one of the Camellas to our set. A warm welcome to Greg Camella. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you for hosting us here.
This is quite the spread. I mean, I can remember when you were just had a couple microphones and it was just a couple, you two, and you were just chatting back and forth. And now you got the lights, and Jonas Gray was on, and the new basketball coach for Westwood High, so it's really grown. It's fun to see.
Well, this was the first restaurant I ever had a meal at in Westwood. When we were looking for our homes, my sister and my brother-in-law and I stopped by. We got ourselves a pizza, and I was like, all right, I kind of feel home.
Yeah.
I feel like I should go here. So I have a special connection to Camellas for sure. And I've got a special connection to you because I grew up a Giants fan. And, of course, to me, the greatest game you ever played was the NFC Championship game against the Minnesota Vikings, where you had an unbelievable performance, and you helped the Giants advance to Super Bowl 35. So thank you very much for that. I did want to throw that out there. But as you look back at your career as an athlete, what stands out most to you? Is it on-field achievements? Is it the lessons that you learned? When you look back reflectively, what comes to mind first?
Sure. I mean, I think the first thing that comes to mind probably are the relationships that I developed over the years, and friendships that I made. There's, to this day, there's still, text chains and group chats that, people we're going back and forth on different things. So I would say, first and foremost, it's the relationships. I spoke to some of the folks down in New York today because they're coming up here next week. So, it's nice to be both a New England fan as well as have connections around the league. So it was a childhood dream of mine. I grew up from a very early age always wanting to play in the National Football League, like every other kid who's ever played tackle football in the schoolyard. And I was able to live it for a few years, and what an experience.
So, Greg, you kind of strayed from the path. Stanford, where your father, Gene, a fantastic football player himself, played at Boston College. Your brother played at Boston College, your son at Boston College. I heard a funny story that Stephen Marciano was showing you around at BC and heard that you got into Stanford, and is like, what are you doing here? That's a heck of a school. That's the right school to go to. But tying it all together, your son Charlie at Boston College now, and he had a tremendous honor this month being able to wear the number 31, which has high significance at Boston College. It was the number of Jay McGillis, Brockton boxer. I got to make sure I say that. Chris Hancock, my brother-in-law, and shouting out to them. But what were the emotions when you got that phone call hearing that Charlie was picked to wear number 31 in the game versus Georgia Tech?
They're very proud. I mean, the J Fund that has been in existence for, 35 plus years, at this point. It's quite an honor, and Charlie was honored, and, my father has, Charlie's grandfather has gone through cancer, and connecting with the McGillis family was a lot of fun for Charlie and my dad as well. But I'm proud of all my kids. They've all kind of are carving their path, and right now we're cheering on Charlie at BC. But my oldest daughter went to UVA and ran, and she's coaching and teaching now in the public schools here, and my middle daughter's a freshman at Michigan. She's a heptathlete, and my youngest is just getting started. She's sophomore over at Wellesley High. So proud of all my kids, and it's more fun now as a parent watching your kids than going through it yourself.
I could imagine
in a lot of ways.
I do want to take you back to the high school days.
Yeah.
Now, were you with Tim or Matt?
Matt was my classmate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They just go by first names now.
Yeah, right. We know. We're talking the Hasselbecks, right? But at the time, did you both think that you'd end up playing in the NFL? I mean, it's very rare for one team to have a number of players who go on to the highest level. I mean, I wish I was here to watch you two guys play.
What's funny is at the time in high school, we were consumed by all we wanted to do was win the Catholic Conference, then beat the Brockton Boxers, who at the time were like,
Studs.
legendary. Yeah. And look, we used to joke and kid about it. And one summer we had a real treat because we were ball boys at the New England Patriots training camp. And so it was a great kind of opportunity to kind of hang out there and learn from those guys. And Kevin Turner was their fullback at the time. He had just come from Philadelphia. Yeah. And it was really neat and inspiring, as a high school kid to kind of be around pros. And you're like, these guys are only a few years older than me, but they were different. They were built different. They thought different. And they were grown men. So it certainly expands your ambition when you're around people like that.
I want to talk about leadership. So, you were a leader in football everywhere you've gone. Xaverian, Stanford, Giants, and, NFL teams that you played on. Now you're a leader leading a business. And you guys have done a terrific job. 12 locations right now? Or
we have 11.
11. Yeah. Talk about how that leadership from the game has translated into being a business owner.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is the lessons that you learn playing the game. It's, there's this great quote that from a book I read when I was, playing and reading a lot about, football. One of the great quotes was from a leader at West Point, General MacArthur said, "On the friendly fields of strife are seeds sown that on other fields on other days will bear the fruits of victory."
Wow.
Just such a because football is just such a great teacher, right? And so at its most basic level, the thing you learn is that when you get knocked down, you get back up.
Yeah.
And one of the great kind of viral internet sensations or social media sensations over the last couple of days was the kid from the Dallas Cowboys, the gunner who got knocked down again. He gets up and he makes the tackle. It's like, for as long as that kid lives and his teammates, they'll never forget that play. They'll always remember stuff like that. I think in business and in my life nowadays, it still is about the relationships. Yeah. It's still about, communicating and motivating. And, at Cabela's, each and every day we think about, like, how do we make sure that our employees are motivated, and how do we make sure that our customers keep coming back for more, right? You do that by producing a good product.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You were very lucky, honestly, to play for some of the most amazing coaches that there have ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, you played for Bill Walsh. at Stanford. Sean Payton was your offensive coordinator with the New York Giants.
Yes.
And think about, I mean, those are just two. Who did I miss?
No, I'll never forget, you know, Coach Walsh coming here in the snowstorm, and at the time, it was kind of like Coach Belichick going back to college, because he at the time was considered, you know, the best one, if not, you know, the best since Lombardi, the best since, you know, the winningest since Chuck Noll. Like, he was in that conversation. It was a really big deal, and you know, I always felt like, you know, I had learned as much about the game of football from Coach Walsh than any other coach. Just his attention to detail. He could spend hours and hours and hours talking to you about the game, dissecting plays, and but yeah, John Fox was a defensive coordinator on that Giant team. Yeah, great playing for Sean Payton.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm going to sacrifice my thing of the three things because I just want to know what it was like to be running towards the end zone and seeing that pass from Kerry Collins come as you were streaking down the sideline. Did that take about 15 seconds
It's
in
a
your
little
head?
bit like looking into these bright lights. I can remember the ball leaving his hand, and then at some point it gets lost in the lights of the stadium. And I'll never forget, you know, the lesson is, if you ever lose the ball in the lights or you ever lose the ball in the sun, what do you catch? You catch the sun. You catch the lights.
Love it. That's a great point.
And that was one of those balls that sometimes you catch the ball, other times the ball catches you. The ball caught me. He put it right where it needed to be.
Right on the money.
He was insane. Greatest game Kerry Collins ever played. So I'll tell you what, that's my thing.
Yeah.
There you go. That play, the Kerry Collins to Greg Camella touchdown pass in the NFC Championship game. That's my thing. How about you?
So my thing, I'm going to keep it football related. I'm also going to keep it fullback related, my friend.
Okay.
And enough of the tush push. I've seen enough of those. I want to go back to the fullback era where, you know what, when the offense would literally tell the defense, guess what we're doing? We're coming right down the middle. This guy is going to go right into your linebacker and put him 5 feet back, and we're going to have a celebration in that end zone. I want to see more ISO, smash mouth football, enough with the tush push, and get back to the old school. Greg Camella, right down your throat. Tiki Barber, bring it in the end zone.
I like it.
Can we put you on a spot? Do you have a thing?
Sure. I guess my thing is that big week for the Cleveland Browns. I think that Shedeur Sanders, would receive the nod. He won on Sunday. Like, I think there's something to be said about a guy who hangs in there and had huge expectations, and he's actually handled it, you know, remarkably well as far as I'm concerned. So I find myself rooting for him this week and those guys who, you know, that fan base which has been down for so long.
I'm going to put you on the spot for two predictions. One, tough task for Zavarian against St. John's Prep. What's it going to take to beat them? We got like a 10-second prediction on that one. I
mean, every time I pick up the newspaper, it's about their QB and their running back, two really, really good players. So, you know, I think defensively, you know, these games when you start playing the better teams, whoever plays better defensively usually comes out on top.
And then what do you tell kids on Thanksgiving Day?
It's an unforgettable experience. So what you try and tell them is, like, you know, at some point, you know, just take it all in and look around and appreciate, like, all the family, all the friends, you know, just these. You continue to go back. I'll be there Thursday, rooting on the Hawks, and it's a unique tradition, unlike any other part of the country. So it's super exciting.
Good stuff. Final word from you as we get set to wrap up this third episode of the Westwood Living Sports Show.
Final word, just want to say thank you to our guests. So Ty and Brad Pindell, Jonas Gray, AK, you know, we're going to call her AK moving forward.
We know now.
And Greg Camella, you know, fantastic lineup. And shout out to you for being able to put these studs together.
Well, we have another show coming up. It's going to be December 14th. And we already have some great guests lined up for that one. We've got two Hall of Famers from the 2014 girls lacrosse team.
We have Ella Hazar and Kim Ajitsi, as well as a legendary basketball coach, Kathy Delaney-Smith will be joining us in December as well.
Fantastic. And I am happy to announce that Ariel D'Angelo is going to join us. She, of course, from Nightingale Wealth Solutions. But big thanks to all the people from Westwood Media Center who help us out all the time. Melinda Garfield, Charlotte Lynch, Evan Cardamino, Maeve Curtin is here working the camera, the crew at Camellas. We love them. We'll be coming back again and again. And, of course, all the guests who you just mentioned. Thank you for joining us. For Morgan Donahue, I'm Tom Lydon. We'll be back Thursday, 9:30 live on WMC for Thanksgiving Day.